Hello everyone, I have a story today from Border Thinking on Migration, Trafficking, and Commercial Sex, Laura Agostini's site, coming out of India, about sex workers who went to, they were rescued, of course, and, the title is Saved at Last, or Sex Workers Don't Want Rescue? Stories from India. Saved at Last. CSWs were sent to the Rescue Foundation at Hadapsar was the original caption on this photo. It went with a story the other day that recounted a rescue operation in Budwarpeth. The report said the workers were saved but recorded a couple of oddities. First, the police got a translator, but the women gave a fictitious address. And there's more than one reason they might have done that. And second, the police claim that medical tests will determine the women's exact age. And both the author and I doubt the existence of such a test. 2 days later, the sex workers are reported to have rioted at the rescue home. The person in charge there isn't worried because it's happened before, and because she believes the girls are programmed to lie. It is quite possible, of course, that the women don't want to do sex work, just as it is likely that they don't want to be placed in a home. And note, the redundant label CSW, which is commercial sex worker, appears sometimes, though it is difficult to see what the word commercial adds to the meaning. If you call people workers, you imply they are doing a job in exchange for money. And this is the entire original article quoted here. And you can follow the link if you like. If you follow my links, feel free. But do know that it is a tad not safe for work. There are some racy ads along the side. But sex workers don't want rescue. More than a score of commercial sex workers rescued on Wednesday and sent to a shelter in the city began a violent clamor last morning for a return ticket to brothel life. The demands began barely 24 hours since they were brought to the shelter. At 9 a.m., all 21 sex workers stomped out and created a ruckus. They broke off the grill and engaged in a fight with the management. The rescued sex workers began insisting on going back to Budwarpeth, she said. And that is the red light district of the city, and the workers were found at a brothel there. 9 of the rescued workers are believed to be minors, and all of them Bangladeshis. In yesterday's drama, a member of the management suffered a minor injury on the arm. No sex worker was hurt. A case was registered at the Vanudi police station. In major raids, initially, such things happen. In an earlier raid, when 46 girls were brought, the same thing had happened. The police suspect the sex workers were illegally brought into the country and forced into prostitution, though this could not be established from their statements taken Wednesday. They are programmed to lie, so we don't have correct information about them. They even lie about their origin. And here it says that they think that 6 of the sex workers are minors. Or they're sure that 6 of them are. And she quotes also the original story. The original from when the sex workers were first picked up and before they rioted. And basically, that says, police employed the services of a translator after they rescued 21 commercial workers. And eventually, that translator found out that the information provided had many problems. And then there's the line about the medical test to know their exact age will happen after they're brought before court tomorrow. The brothel owners were also charged. And they were acting on a tip-off from an anti-immoral trafficking activist. From Marion Trust. I'll have to look into what the fuck that is. According to police sources, most of the CSWs were brought to the city from Bangladesh illegally. And Debbie Walker, a women's rights activist, said, the brothel madams had warned these girls not to approach the police by creating horror stories about the police machinery. They wanted to prevent the girls from approaching the police for any help. So let's take another look at this photo up here, huh? You see that? You see that? You see that woman? You see that girl? Yeah, I can't imagine why she'd be a little bit afraid of the police machinery. And yes, trust me, that woman is a police officer. I researched what the uniform is for female officers in India, and yep, she's one of them. And I'm sure they're just trying to gently coddle her out of her traumatized life that she's been forced into living. Right? Because Lord knows that's the way you do it. Now, what gets me about this, and of course, as usual, there's a lot of things that get me about this, but, well, it's just that fucking hypocrisy. And a lot of you are probably already aware that just going in, the abolitionists and prohibitionists and the rescue industry has painted this blog, this author, this entire, well, form of feminism as a bunch of liars and practically pimps. We're lying, these women are lying, thousands of other activists across the world are lying. That's all it is. We're just lying for our own selfish means. And they sit by and they blame the victims and they dehumanize the victims while they spread that propaganda that says that we are liars. While they sit back and let hundreds and thousands of women be rounded up and put into storage, put into homes, because they've made what society deems an improper sexual choice. Hypocrisy astounds me. The harm astounds me. The selfishness astounds me of these prohibitionist, abolitionist, rescue industry shills.